Hi, and welcome to Armchair Pundits. Today we have Leon, we have Yao, and we have one of our oldies but newies, we have Cyril.
How you doing?
First of all, it's been a good week. We've had World Cup friendlies starting. We've had some upsets with, so English people won't be upset because their Italian captain Ontiglio was injured, so he's not making it to the World Cup. We've got Falcao not making it to the World Cup. So I was looking around on the internet and I saw they've got an 11 of who isn't going to the World Cup. Not through not making it, through injuries. So over the next couple of shows, we'll try to get that 11 and let you listeners see how good that 11 is. But for the rest of the show, we're going to focus on NBA. NBA's reached the NBA Finals with Miami versus San Antonio. We've got the French Open, which has got to the quarterfinal stage and at some stages semi-finals. And then also, obviously we have to talk about the big fight on Saturday where Froch grows up, taught him a lesson. Was it a good fight? Was it a boring fight? Was it stopped too early? Again, who knows? So, we'll start off with NBA. Miami versus San Antonio. I know Yao is a San Antonio fan.
Oh yeah.
So he's kind of happy and looking for revenge on Miami Heat, who I'm not a fan of, but I'm following them now because, let's face it, my team Lakers are in the depth of something close to hell. So
I hope they stay there.
So yeah, San Antonio.
San Antonio have been the best team in the league this season, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not
best
saying
or most consistent.
They've been most consistent for the last 10 years. They just basically play basketball to the fundamentals. So in terms of being consistent, they don't really change much. They're always there or thereabouts. Whether they get to the finals, the actual finals, is another question. But they are always there or thereabouts. I don't know how long it can last because most of their franchise players are coming towards the end of their career, should I say. Most of them are in their 30s, with Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan being in his late 30s. But in terms of this actual year, they've done very, very well. They've beaten a lot of the big teams. They've held their own against a lot of the big teams. And I'm talking about Indiana, OKC, Miami, Bulls, even if you want to consider them as one of the big teams. They've done well against the Nets, but the Nets were supposed to be a problem and turned out to not be so much of a problem during the course of this season. But in terms of the lineup with Miami going up against San Antonio, let's be honest, over the last two NBA seasons, they have been probably the most consistent and better teams in the last two seasons. So I'm not actually surprised that it's a repeat final. I'm hoping that San Antonio can get the job done because last year they should have got the job done. They should have. They had quite a few occasions to get the job done and they didn't. That's their own fault that they lost it. So this is technically a revenge match. Maybe you can call this Miami San An 2. Let's hope there's a knockout in Game 6.
Well, definitely a revenge match for last year. It would have taken all summer for San Antonio to get over that loss. All summer. Game 7, Game 6 was a couple of 3-pointers there from Bosh of all people and Ray Allen, obviously. But for me, it's going to be a great contest. San Antonio, as y'all said, well-oiled machine. They're like the West Germany of NBA. They have been under Greg Popovich. He's been a great coach. He's been great at getting sort of the bench players to chip in with points and being able to manage those older players and give them, the least amount of minutes across the season. And that's made them very, 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 very fresh for the postseason. Miami, the big three are back in it again. Wade looks a lot fresher than he did in the last playoff run that they had last season. He's had a good rest over the course of the season. They've managed his minutes very, very well. So I have to give Spoelstra credit for managing to keep the minutes down with Wade, and now he looks at peak form at the moment. LeBron just doing what he does best, getting it done down the stretch. being a problem on defense and a problem on offense, and being an inspiration for his teammates. So, if you want me to call it, I have a feeling that San Antonio might do it this time, just because of what happened last year. But I'd like to see LeBron get his third ring.
Cyril?
Well, I'm actually a Miami fan, which is obviously, whatever. I actually like LeBron. I know he's got a lot of haters out there, but you can't hate on his skills and his talent. When I saw the matchup here, I actually instinctively thought, now Miami are gonna, they learned from the mistakes last time. They've rested Wade enough. Even though LeBron's complained about playing a bit too many minutes, I think when it comes to clutch time, he's now proven that he's a clutch player, that he can win championships. He has 2 rings now, so he's got that monkey off his back. I think it's going to come down to if Chris Bosh actually plays well, because he's a very consistent player. He can sometimes throw up 20 bricks of threes, but if he can rain down a few threes, Wade's playing well, linking with Miami, Birdman's in there, Ray Allen with a few threes, I reckon Miami's going to win this game in 6 games. I don't think it's going to go to a game 7. I think it's going to be a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of blowouts in this finals as well. I think you're going to see a lot of blowouts like we saw in the semi-finals. You saw a lot of 20-point scores, which is, I'm not sure how rare that is, but it seems like quite rare.
It's rare because obviously it's so tight.
Yeah,
but it's because it literally seems to be whoever's on their 3-point game.
That's it.
That's who's
going to win.
That's who's got it.
I think that trend's going to continue. I think you're going to see quite a few blowouts in the finals, but I think Miami's going to do it in 6. As Yard pointed out, a lot of San Antonio's players, we thought from last year they didn't get to another finals. We thought the players were already over the hill. For the fact they've managed to drag their carcasses to another final, I just think Miami's going to beat that carcass. Miami's going to beat that dead horse one last time. It's going to be LeBron with 3 rings for me.
For me, being being a Miami follower since LeBron has moved over, I wanted to see, could they really do it? Everyone mocked him. Not 2, not 3, not. Hey, it's looking like it could become a reality. But going back to the Indiana series, the way Lance Stevenson went at him, blowing in his ear, hitting him in the face, him getting fouled out, and then losing that game, and him coming back the next game and destroying Indiana, I think he's ready now. LeBron is ready to do this. Last year was more of a, can we do it again? I think this year's going to be, we can do it again. No matter what San Antonio do, no matter what they throw at us, we've got enough weapons now. Yeah, fair enough. San Antonio have got the best bench in basketball. They get 25 points a game from their bench. Miami don't. But I think their big 3, like Leon said, like Yao said, everyone has said. Dwayne Wade rested is great. The game 6 going to 6. The series going to 6 is great because they've had they've had 5 days rest for the finals. So for me, Heat will do it 5 or 6. It won't go to 7. If it goes to 7, then I'm worried. Because if it's 7, it's going to be
at San Antonio.
It's going to be at San Antonio. But I think the Heat have just got it. They've got it, and they're on a roll right now.
Yeah.
So I think they'll do it.
Well, that's what 2 for San An and 2 for Miami. So we'll see.
It's a dead heat.
When we next record, we'll know what the score is.
Yeah,
because when we finish, we'll come back on it and see how the series has gone. But for now, we'll move on. We'll move on to the French Open, which has thrown up a heck of a lot of shocks. The men's draw is always more exciting, but we'll start off with the women's draw because it's a matter of who's left. Seriously, Serena's gone, Venus is gone, Linar's gone.
Quite a few good matches.
Everyone that you can think of, Wozniacki's gone.
Yeah, Wozniacki's gone. Well, her departure could be down to. Well, she'll never.
You could say that, but she's never been a Grand Slam player.
Pretty much.
Most of the big names are gone. The highest seed is Simona Halep, Romania.
She had a fantastic year.
She's been on one of the most informed players, and that's why her ranking, suggests that as well.
She's come from nowhere basically to get up to number 4.
Sharapova's in the hunt. In fact, Sharapova and Kuznetsova are the only 2 that have won a Grand Slam in the past.
Yeah.
So you put those 2 as probably your maybe go-to. I wouldn't say Kuznetsova because she's very hit and miss. Very
She's
Sharapova
facing Halep, like you said.
Yeah.
She's facing the most informed person. Sharapova done her job today. For those who didn't know, she beat Eugene Bouchard.
She beat Moog.
So she's got to play Bouchard.
Sharapova actually had a very rocky game. Like she lost the first
Against who?
Muguruza. Sorry if we butchered the name, but the first set was a complete blowout. Sharapova wasn't moving very well. She didn't have any power behind the shots. Second set, I think what happened was that the experience showed. Sharapova's been there before. She basically was able to stay calm. Where you could see that Muguruza got tight. She started getting the yips. She was missing a lot of the shots that she was making in the first set, and in the third set was she just got overcome by emotion.
Question for you.
Yeah.
I was watching Sharapova's previous match where something similar happened. She lost the first set.
Yeah.
And the commentators were saying, because Serena lost that day or the day before, and I was saying that's the difference between Serena and Sharapova. When Serena's down, she loses. She hasn't got the fight to come back. But if you're gonna be in a dogfight, you'd rather have Sharapova over Serena Williams.
I would
do
disagree.
you agree?
I think there's
it was a big statement for them to say live on there, and I was sitting thinking, really?
Serena's come back a lot.
Yeah,
that's
a crazy.
If you look at her record, that would never tell you that. If you look at her record, that would never tell you.
I think that pundit kind of got that wrong because Sharapova is known for losing her first set. In a lot of her matches, she loses her first set and then comes through stronger. It's almost like she's warming up during.
So is that not proving the point then?
No, not necessarily.
But she actually ends up losing a significant number of those matches that she loses the first set. Whereas Serena
is a dog when it comes to fighting. I mean, there's been tournaments where I've seen Serena lose the first set hard.
But if it's not going her way, so maybe not losing the first set. If it's not going her way, who would you put your money on if it's not going her way? Because Serena does.
Serena's problem is most of the time she picks herself up, and it's not even necessarily the opponent doing anything special. Serena almost implodes within herself, and you have seen that a lot. But if you think about, she's won 17, Grand Slam titles.
Bloody insane.
17 Grand Slam titles doesn't tell you that this girl does not have the fight, man. Come on.
Yeah, and plus you got to take age into account. When you reach a certain age,
the bones hurt.
You can't play at the same level realistically. Even though Serena is such a dominant champion that she was so high above everyone else that even when she's declining a little bit, she's still expected to win. But realistically, at this day and age, you can't be expecting her to just be demolishing people day in day out like she was. Look at Federer.
It's the same thing. Every time a player goes through or has a shock loss or whatever, is their time coming to an end? The same happened to Nadal. He's 27 years old. The same happened to him. And even he's now having to say in interviews, there's a new bunch of guys coming up. Yeah. They're now the guys that are
they're the older
statesmen now. And so, Nadal, you've been written off how many times?
Yeah.
So
you can't really write off Serena like that. But I think you can. I think in this circumstance, to be honest with you, I actually expected the Italian Irani to get far. So she's done well by my expectations. The Romanian, she has had a good year. She has really done well in the WTA tournaments.
That's hell,
yeah. She's done very well in the WTA tournaments. But for me, it comes down to experience. And when it comes down to the French Open, most of the winners are either very decent at clay and have extreme experience at clay, and that's how they get through. It doesn't really come down to your actual major ability. That's why the French Open normally throws up
the most
one of the biggest surprises.
So no one's retained it for years. Yeah. I think they've had 7 different winners over the last 7 years.
And that's what I expect. That's what I expect.
And when you've seen it, it's mostly been the most gutsy person that's willing to fight for every ball because the court's slow. When you're playing a French Open, you have to be fit. And you have to have great timing because you have to slide into every shot because you can't get any kind of grip.
Yeah, it's
without sliding.
It's the most unique tournament because obviously it's the only clay court. And it's a unique surface in terms of that you can slide into shots, as Leon said, that you're basically taught to slide on clay, whereas you're not taught. If you slide on hard courts and stuff, you're
break yourself.
You're gonna snap something terrible. But I want Elena Bouchard, Genie, they call her online. She's like kind of like a fan favorite online. She's got like a massive cult following. She's Canadian, and because she's kind of deemed as attractive, She's the one that
Don't
people.
don't fall into John Infidel.
No, I'm just saying that she's a fan favorite, and I think people. I would actually take her to beat Sharapova in the semi-finals, and I think she's probably gonna win. That's just my pick. That's my pick for this tournament. She's gonna win. She's not done anything so far in terms of winning other Grand Slams, but she's been playing. She's been improving the game month after month, year after year, and I think that she's gonna be the dark horse to win this tournament. We call her Eugene Bouchard. She's got like a massive fan following online. I don't follow. I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah, we know. We know you follow her on Twitter.
My friend put me onto her. So
moving. Who's gonna win it, Leon? For you, women's one.
I'm gonna go with Halep. I like to see her do it for the form that she's been in. The French Open always throws out a surprise. Why not her?
true.
Mine's going to be Irani. I think the Italian always sticks in, especially when it comes to the French Open. So I'm going to go for the Italian.
And I'm going to go for the Charlotte. So I'm going to go for one from there.
For me, I get a feeling I'm going to go for Sharapova. Why not?
Why
not?
Why not?
She's still in. Exactly. She's still in there. She's won
Four different picks.
So we'll find out.
We'll
When we film next week, we'll see who got it right. So now on to the men's side. In the men's side, we've already had a victory today. Djokovic has won against Raonic, and the second one, Gulbis beat Berdych.
Both kind of straightforward.
And they're playing each other in the semi-final.
Yeah.
So we've got left Nadal versus Ferrer, which is always. Well, it's not always. It's been recently.
Yeah.
Recently, since Ferrer stepped up his game, it's been interesting.
They've been hailing that this is the end of Nadal,
As usual, and
he's
again.
finished. He's
And then we've got
done.
Monfils versus Murray, which throws up a lot of.
That's
It's a French favourite versus a Murray who is hard to beat generally, I guess.
honestly that's my pick for match of the quarters. Monfils versus Murray. I think that's gonna. Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
for the
5 setter, sorry.
I think that's going to be the
5-7.
5-setter where it's going to be epic, like Murray, Kohlschreiber, but how many 5-setters does Murray really have in him? I mean, coming back from a back injury, it's not as easy as they make
What's
it
the
out.
good thing is last one was only 3, with straight sets.
It was straight sets, but the more strain he puts on it, it's in his mind as well, because when you have an injury like that, you subconsciously protect it, and so he goes into his strokes differently, and he puts more strain on his arms and on his knees rather than on his torso, because subconsciously he's trying to protect that back. And doing that, it's actually more damaging for him.
That's true.
It's more damaging for him. And over time, all it's going to take is, how Murray gets down on himself. He always holds his back. And he's giving subconscious bad.
Just for those that don't know, Cyril was not a Murray fan.
No.
Whatsoever.
That's not true.
He had a passion of dislike.
That's not true. I'm not a Murray disliker, but I just think that Monfils is gonna. It's a match too far for Murray, basically, in my opinion.
Who's your winner?
For the tournament, I think Djokovic is gonna do it.
Okay, well, surprising for you not to pick Nadal, but
I think Djokovic is in slightly better form, and he seems to have the edge on Nadal this year. It changes year by year who has the edge on who. I think Djokovic has the edge this year.
I don't take it away from Nadal. I think this is going to be his ninth one, but I actually think Djokovic might go out to Gulbis. I think Gulbis might actually make the final. This guy has really played some quality tennis, so I think he could make the final. He could post up probably the biggest shock of the semi-finals.
Gulbis has really stepped up. His attitude's changed, which has been the most important thing, because he comes from a wealthy background.
Extremely wealthy
like royalty.
Yeah.
And the guy is not used to having to gut it out and fight, but now he's learning. He actually wants to be known as a tennis player, not as just a playboy who hasn't got much
That's a
family.
good point. That's a good point.
But for me, it's hard to go against Nadal. I'd like Djokovic to win it, but I have a feeling that Nadal's going to do it again. It's going to be how many? 8?
9.
9. 9 French Opens.
I would like Murray to win it. I was in. That's why I said I didn't say he's going to win. I said I'd like Murray to win it. I've always been in the Murray camp from the time when people said, including Cyril, he's never going to win the Grand Slam.
I knew you'd win one.
A lot of people said he'll never. I'm pretty sure Yao a couple of times said this guy is not going to win.
He's not good.
He's hopeless.
He's not good. I said he's
So,
not good.
the fact that he's got 2,
but he has proven himself.
I'm happy that he's got that legacy of winning 2. Will he win it? It's probably a 10% chance of him actually winning it. But for me, I think Nadal as well. Nadal,
So
he
3
wants
for
it.
Nadal,
He wants it.
1 for Djokovic.
So time will tell. We'll move on to our final segment, which obviously was the big fight on Saturday, which was unfinished business, which was 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium, the biggest crowd, or the third biggest crowd in history for boxing in the UK, if not the world. Froch destroyed him, or did he not?
Really?
I'm asking. I'm not saying he did. I'm asking you the question.
I'd like to go first in this, and I'd like to put it out there. I think Froch is a really rubbish boxer.
Seconded.
Okay, so I'm just letting you guys know that the
He's only
first
lost one fight in his career.
he's lost 2.
He's got 2
Two
losses.
now?
He's lost 2 losses. Yeah, it's Andre Ward and Kessler.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But Groves, in my eyes, Groves may have not looked the more aggressive boxer, but was landing the more cleaner shots.
So who was winning before the knockout?
It was a draw.
For me, it was tight. I gave it to Groves by 2 rounds, just by 2 rounds. Literally, it was hit and miss. But when the knockout came, I was not surprised. The reason why I was not surprised because Groves was getting towards the last stages. He was letting that left shoulder just. He was letting the left arm down. He was leaving it down. I'm sorry, as crap as I think Froch is, yeah, you just don't do that against any sort of boxer, any sort of man, because once he lands it on your chin, you know, he could have you looking like, oh my gosh, did anyone see how Groves landed on the
Oh,
canvas?
it's the ankle.
The ankle,
That leg.
the ankle, leg, knees. His
Cruciate
wife
ligament, mate.
His wife was crying in the background.
His ACL could have gone.
His ACL could have gone. His mum had no clue. Her son could bend his knees like that. It was an absolute flooring. But nah, you know what? Groves deserved to get something out of that, but it's his own fault. You know, you got to see the matches all the way through. Or should I say, you got to see the fight all the way through to the end if you're going to win on points or be considered to win on points. Froch just stuck in there and basically waited for his opportunity, and when it came, he took it.
It's not even that. It reminds me of we used to watch basketball, and you have Mark Jackson, his famous phrase: "Hand down, man down." Exactly what it was.
That's
And
what
everyone was down. A second later, the man was down.
The man was down.
So it was done.
I mean, for me, this fight, Groves is obviously technically the better boxer. You can see that Froch is actually quite stiff. He's more like he's more like a lad. Like he took up boxing. His technical ability is very poor. Like his jab is actually quite poor as well, quite slow. And he almost looks like a plodding fighter, whereas Groves has got much better footwork. But it seemed to me that Groves was kind of fake. Like he took some of the body shots in round 4, and I think that slowed him up a lot because then from round 5 onwards, it was almost like Froch was able to have his way. And you, as a professional boxer, you're not going to be gassed after 4 rounds. So I think the body shots just took their toll.
That's smart, then. Leon, you don't call that smart boxing?
Personally, I actually think Froch gets a lot of bad press. And you know what? I'm not gonna deny he doesn't look very good to watch.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of boxers out there that don't
That's
look good to watch, whose record is second to none. And Froch's record is really, really good. He's had how many title defenses now in a row?
I think it's 13.
Something ridiculous like that. I'm not saying that boxing is in a very title fight. Sorry, boxing is in a very sorry state of affairs still for me compared to what it used to be. Let's be honest, the talent out there is not the same like it used to be. But you can only fight who's out there.
True.
And you know, as much as there was a lot of controversy from the first fight. But Groves was lucky to get a title shot in the first place because Groves had no one on his roster. Not one top boxer to his name to even claim to get that first fight. And I thought Groves did very well to earn it because he was very disrespectful and he had to kind of get under Froch's skin to get it. And
That's what you have to do these days, though.
Yeah.
fair enough, he did what he had to do, but I have a feeling that Froch gave, and I heard this from I think it's Johnny Nelson. I think he said that Froch not getting the fight with Calzaghe when he wanted it. I think that was one of the reasons he gave Groves his chance.
It's not even that. I'm probably in the minority, maybe not. I don't think Groves even won the DeGale fight. I think the
No, he didn't. I don't think he did.
So he's lucky. It's even more reason for him lucky to be there.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm so happy that DeGale is now the mandatory, whether he fights Froch or not. But I think he won that fight, so he should have been. And then he's had 3 years of injuries, so he should have been in that position.
Yeah.
So Groves has been mouthy. The second fight, he didn't deserve it. Froch, really and truly, fair enough.
No.
Fair enough.
The first fight.
But the fact is, I sat there and watched the fight. Yeah, I watched it back. I missed it, and I said to myself, "This is the reason why the referee stopped it in the first place." Because when I saw Groves getting, I'm not gonna mock someone getting oxygen after a fight. When I saw the guy getting oxygen after a fight, that's the reason why you stop it when you're a referee and you think this guy has got no chance. Because I was listening to what's his name's to another coach, Andre Ward's coach, and he said Virgil Hunter, and he said, listen, people that are saying that was an unfair stoppage the first time said, when I'm a referee, if a guy falls into my arms, that's a fight over.
Yeah,
he said what happened? Groves fell into the referee's arms. Referee didn't go looking for Groves. Groves fell into his arms, and he had the decision that there and then to say, no, it can't go any further.
But you can argue that the referee was in a bad position, that the fight could fall into him.
Yeah. You know what? Everyone said, for me, the referee stopped it a little bit early. He should have let Groves fall on the floor or Groves should have taken the fall and given himself a chance to get back up. Because the flurry of punches, it wasn't necessarily the power that Froch was using, because if you look at it, it wasn't immense power that he was using, it was the flurry of punches.
It's even a knockout, it wasn't power, it was just connection.
That's what, yeah, exactly.
It's a great connection.
So for me, I think he should just let Groves fall on the floor and see what happened after that, because Groves was still stumbling a little bit, but I still think the referee stopped it earlier. I think the rematch was justified. I think it was justified.
So if he hadn't been given a rematch, would Froch have been torn apart for moving on? For saying, you know what, I've given you.
He would have
fair and square.
He would have had he had fought someone else that was not of his own caliber and won or even lost. He would have had to fight Andre Ward and won for anyone to say, okay, fair enough, innit? He beat Andre Ward, so
exactly.
Who can tell him?
And we got.
He had to fight that fight. He had to, even for his own manhood, he had to.
Yeah, no, for respect, because people were saying it was a work and things of that nature, so you can't then just ignore all of that.
And then IBF made it a mandatory fight in the end because they mandated, so he had to fight in the end for that belt anyway.
It sounds crazy, but I saw a theory somewhere online where they said that the first fight was a fix. The first fight, if it had gone one way or the other, Groves being how he is, he wouldn't have given a rematch if he won it.
No, Groves doesn't give a rematch.
He wouldn't have given a rematch. So for them to build up boxing again in England, they apparently, so I'm not getting myself in trouble, apparently fixed that fight so then they could rearrange it. Have to make a spectacle of it so that you can get a bigger stadium. Both of them get paid from the first one, get a massive payday from the second one, and the second fight is whoever wins.
But you know what? Conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories. You know,
it's a big one, obviously.
It's a big one.
When you put it out there,
that's a massive.
When you put it out there.
But what I'd say to kind of like shore up on the whole Groves Froch situation is, with Groves, you're right. If he had won the first one, he would have definitely not given them a rematch.
He didn't give the girl one.
The girl deserved one because I felt the girl won that match. But in terms of the Froch Groves number 2, Groves sold that fight fantastically. If there's ever going to be a man that's going to sell a fight to me, okay, it needs to be Groves or Mayweather. not Amir Khan. Amir Khan can't sell me a fight. I've tried. I've literally tried to listen to that guy. He can't sell me. I hate his accent. It annoys me. All right. He literally cannot sell that fight to me. But Groves sold this fight to me from the get-go. Saying that it was even the first fight. The first fight, even he sold it to me. Saying to the guy, I'm gonna hit you with 2 rights. Just 2. The insults were so far beyond it that I knew that if there was a second fight, I'm going to watch this. I'm gonna watch this live. I don't care what time it comes on and what day it comes on. I'm going to watch this. So Groves deserved that second fight on just his mouth alone, literally.
For me, he lost the fight when they did the face-to-face with Johnny Nelson.
Oh yeah.
If anyone hasn't seen it, go on YouTube and watch it. And the way Froch stepped up from, because he didn't respect him in the first fight, so he lost a lot of ground in the first fight. This time, when he sat face to face, he made him look so stupid to the point where Groves would even answer Johnny Nelson's questions. Yeah. And Froch was like, he's asked you a question. You're not going to answer it. Okay, I'll answer it for you. Then Groves tried to shake his hand, tried to pull him across the table, thought be a man, and then Froch almost dragged him across the table and said, I could do that too. when you see his face at the end of it, that was it for me. I knew from then he was winning that fight. The question is now, should he retire Froch?
No.
Should he retire, or should he fight DeGale, or should he go to Vegas and fight Chavez?
He should go Vegas and get
He should go Vegas. He should go Vegas because that's.
I think it's
literally-
unanimous. You have to go
He has
Vegas.
to go Vegas and get the last
He hasn't fought in Vegas not one time. in his
But
career.
is Chavez big enough for him to fight? For those two to fight in Vegas?
For them to be naming him, if he's just
Yeah,
boxing
they must
naming him,
be.
then he must
Yeah.
be.
That's what I was saying.
I don't know who Chavez is.
No, but it's they don't name guys just to name them
Just
just
for
to
the
fight in
sake of it,
Vegas. If you're gonna fight MGM, it has to be a name. Or
Yeah.
Mandalay Bay. It has
Because
to be
I
a
saw
name.
it
You can't just-
I saw it in HBO field, the HBO segment. So that's the American sports channel,
Yeah.
and even they were saying he should go to Vegas and fight.
I think it's just a case of, people saying, should he fight him because they don't want him to lose for his last
Yeah,
fight in
exactly.
Vegas.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's boxing. You go out there and put your head on the line. If you think if it's the right fight, then you go fight it.
So you should basically, for you should stay away from Golovkin. They're in are they a similar weight class?
I say stay away from Golovkin. Go up
Golovkin
against-
is a good boxer.
Yeah, stay away from him.
It's a risk.
If you want your wife to still love you, stay away. But what I would say, he should go up against Chavez and then go up against Andre Ward because Froch has said plenty of times he wants to avenge the defeats that he's gained in his career and go face Ward again.
I mean,
We know that Ward's gonna beat you, but go face him again.
Does he really though? I mean, he's in he's past his mid-30s now. How many?
I think
Do
it's
you
just
really
that.
want to take punches?
Yeah, Ward will put
It's
his
not even taking punches. I think you should leave it as that because
He's not
Personally,
gonna get any bigger.
It's
not- it's not-
and you've
it's
seen
not-
his girlfriend. You think she'll stick around if he takes major damage and he becomes?
He's got that
one of those
Steve
guys?
Bruce nose. That's what he
Yeah,
has.
he knows already.
So-
Shocking.
finally, should Cyril should he fight on
Vegas. He's got
Vegas?
Vegas all the way.
He's got. He'll live to regret if he doesn't.
See, I would say Vegas as well, but I would want to see him fight Golovkin.
You want him to lose it?
The thing is, I want to see how good Golovkin is. I know I've seen him take down people with that one punch, and
Very violent punch.
there's just wound people and can't
Punches
stand
got
up.
a chin. Let's be
So
honest.
that's why I want to see it, because these are two real sluggers from what I've seen. I've never seen Chavez fight, so I can't give a comment on that. So I'd rather see him fight Golovkin. But that's for another day. I'm sure we'll come back to it if and when that fight comes around. So I'd like to thank you guys for being here today.
No problem.
Yeah, it was great being
I'd
here.
like to thank you once again for listening. This has been Armchair Pundits, and this has been another fantastic show. Take care.